episode of the Grown Man Cypher. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so we're getting kind of used to this, man. We've been doing it every Friday now for I don't know how long. It's been like 3 months or something like
Bro,
that.
I think it's coming up on 3 months.
I think it's coming
like
up on
that.
3 months.
Yeah. It's starting to get crazy to see the YouTube page like filling out what episodes I gotta actually scroll through. Like, what? It's crazy.
I know. It kind of feels like a collection. I kind of like looking at it like, oh, look at all these thumbnails.
And then all the stuff going on, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's just dope, man. Thank y'all for looking and checking stuff out, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, especially too because we're still in the early stages of this. You know what I mean?
Most definitely, bro.
So, yeah, but it's fun. So yeah, we've been doing the Whole30 this month, so we're gonna just kind of wrap that up and kind of give the Whole30 results and our takeaway from the whole experience. No
I'm thinking,
intended.
look, me and Luke probably look different. Like I look at our face, I'm all like, I know I lost weight. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's like
one
thing I would get into. So
yeah.
People are like, man, you look a little anorexic. I'm like, why you gotta be saying that, man?
Oh man.
And
Yeah. So we got 2 more days of the Whole30.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Because Friday's the last day.
Friday's the last day.
Yeah. Then Saturday's the first day of no Whole30. So
yeah. So for you, this is what you've done several Whole30s. So this is just kind of like you already kind of knew what you were in for.
Indeed.
But how's this one been for you? Because I know it's
Man.
like a special time of the year to be doing the Whole30 too. So.
It is. So
Yeah.
I'm fasting on top of Whole30, but just for 2 weeks. But even before I started fasting, like the Whole30, I think the thing I noticed is I don't know. Do you want me to tell some of my takeaways? I guess I'm just going to the just basics. It wasn't really that hard. The first couple days, I did get a bit of a headache, and we had talked about that before. It's because of the die-off. A lot of the bacteria that consumes sugar and starch, which is a complex sugar, but sugar-eating bacteria begins to die off, and you have to, your body's gonna basically get rid of more, and you're gonna, you might get headaches. It's just a bit, it's like withdrawal symptoms, because you're so used to consuming sugar, especially simple sugar. So headache you might get once or twice, but not really that bad. It's not like debilitating or anything like that, but it's just you can kind of feel that your body's going through a bit of a change. But after that, man, it just got kind of easy. And here's one thing I kind of dig is you get a bit creative. So once you get onto your bicycle, you kind of start figuring out ways to make Whole30 work for you. That's where plan is nice too. And if you meal plan like I don't, it's gonna be even more. It's gonna be an even more easier transition. But yeah, it wasn't really that bad. It was just like the rest of them I had done. You just kind of forget the first couple days. It probably even the first couple of weeks, about what you are and what you aren't eating and stuff like that. So, but all in all, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, no doubt.
What about for you, man?
Well, I think for me, I think one of the hardest parts to doing something like this would just be like, oh, okay, I'm going to commit, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And I think having this show, is the catalyst for me to do that because I am a goal-oriented person, and so. Especially if I'm going to say it on camera like this and we're going to put it out and say, hey, we're going to do this.
Yes.
Then I'm like, it's on, So I was committed in my head. I knew I was going to do it. So it wasn't like there was no dread going into it. Because
Most definitely.
It's like, I'm going to do this, so I'm not going to whine and pout about it. You know what I mean?
Don't whine anyway.
Yeah, don't whine anyway.
We don't whine.
Yeah. So I went in with that kind of attitude and also I'd already kind of I kind of already know how to eat, and I know eating whole foods is good. So it just really was getting rid of the few things because I would have toast in the morning, I'd eat some gluten-free bread and with my eggs and everything. So I just got rid of that, and then maybe I had some almond butter and fruit, or I just had the eggs. You know what I mean? So I definitely ate less, I would say, and I definitely intentionally did intermittent fasting. I've been doing that.
Yep, me too.
And I do that at least 3-4 days, if not all days of the week.
Yeah.
Typically. But throughout this month, I was really intentional about trying to do it as many days as possible. So I'd say probably 90% of this month, I went at least 16 hours. And then some days I did 20.
I was gonna say, man, you were going hard on the fast,
bro. I was going hard on the fast, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, dang, bro, you ain't playing.
Yeah, because some days I'd finish dinner at I wouldn't eat anything past 8:30.
Yeah.
Right, and then I got the morning stuff that I get going on. It's really easy for me in the morning. Like I would drink coffee in the morning. Mm-hmm. Man, are you supposed to drink coffee on the Whole30?
Bro,
I think you can.
Yeah,
you can.
I think you just can't put. Well, you can do coconut. You can use anything that's Whole30 approved.
That's right.
So
yeah.
And again, real quick, I don't wanna. You guys, when I say Whole30 approved, I'm not saying like the brand. I'm saying the criteria of the eating regimen. You want to make sure that you find something that generally is a creamer that's fat based. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't have like 86,000 ingredients. Something that's, actual food that you're putting in your coffee.
And non-dairy.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely non-dairy. So,
yeah, like I got this unsweetened coconut once that had no sugar added and stuff. And I was pretty stoked because I was honestly, I had just kind of given up on any kind of like, alternative milk or anything like that. I was just drinking like water, some tea or whatever, some coffee. But yeah, so I guess just giving up those few things and the sugar, so I definitely felt a little bit like airy and light, you know what I mean? Because when you don't have those carbs, those are the things that are giving you a lot of your energy. Those are the things that, if you don't have them, you just kind of feel deflated sometimes, especially if you're carb dependent, heavy carb dependent.
Your body gets dependent, like you said, dependent. Your body is used to doing that, and that's the whole point of the Whole30. You're shifting from sugars and starches to fats, and it doesn't just go. Oh, your body go. Oh, okay, we're burning fats now. It don't work like that. You have to. You transition off and you transition on to the fat burning. So
yeah, and if you know about that, because you feel like, oh man, like. I don't know if I'd want to run or if I could run if I had to at moments if you haven't eaten properly.
Right.
But I already kind of knew about that because I'd messed around with like cutting out carbs the wrong way for a wrong reason. Just being like carbs are bad. In my learning to get to kind of where I'm at right now. So I already kind of knew what it felt like to go without carbs, and then with intermittent fasting too. And then once you learn though that you're replacing that energy with good fats like coconut oil, olive oil, you know what I mean?
Avocado, if you want to spare the expense for it.
Yeah, or just eating avocados too. That's some good healthy fat. So I think it's just figuring it out. But man, I kind of ate the same thing all month.
It happens. It does happen.
Same thing all month. So
it happens.
I would say for me, just because of my situation, like I work part-time at a grocery store and I get a lot of free organic food or just free food that's already, prepped, and it might have like small amounts of sugar in it, but it's not like unhealthy, but it's like a curry sauce that has a little bit of sugar or something added to it, you know what I mean?
Like most things.
Yeah. Something that would typically potentially be considered like a healthy meal.
Exactly.
And low sugar, but with the Whole30 you're avoiding all sugar.
Yep.
So typically I would get a lot of these kind of things that I could mix into my meals to, make things really affordable because I'm getting some free food and it's high quality.
Yep.
So I wasn't able to use a lot of those things, I was able to use some of the free produce I got. So for me, it was just like spending a little bit more money. And I mentioned this just because not everybody out there has money to go buy like all this organic, awesome food.
Most
you know
definitely.
what I mean? So I just want to make that real. That's because, people talk about it and they show all this great stuff, but it's like, man, that little drink right there costs $5. A drink costs $5,
Facts.
So it's
bro, real quick, I want to touch upon two things. One of the things, three things. The first is when you start doing this eating regimen and you understand the criteria, it's almost like a person in jail. You become very, you learn to depend on the little that you have. You learn to become very, it's like I always forget words. You become, you get creative. You're like, okay, well, I can eat that and this and that. And, you start to combine things you might not have combined before. You start to definitely appreciate the fat in anything. Right, because you start to crave the fat like you do sugar and starch. The fat is actually really satiating. The other thing is, as far as not having the money to do stuff, and I talked to Luke about this before. I remember we were talking about, you guys remember, and even if you live in a food desert or something like that, at least there's, at the very least, something that can help is frozen vegetables.
No doubt.
Frozen stuff is not bad. There's a multitude of different ways you can prepare it. Like one of my favorite ways to prepare frozen vegetables, like frozen spinach or anything like that, is you get like a skillet and you heat the pan up and you put oil in there, and you can. I'm not a huge garlic person because I don't like what it does to your breath, but it adds flavor to your food. So you can. This is like one of the Chinese ways of doing it. You heat up the oil, and then you flavor it with a little bit of garlic, and then you throw your vegetables in there, and you basically brown your vegetables, and you brown them, but you leave them al dente so they're not overcooked. But it's really flavorful. A little bit of salt and garlic in your in your vegetables. It's so flavorful. But frozen foods are cheap. Generally, they're cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you might end up
even organic. Sometimes you go to the right place because a lot of these conventional grocery stores that have better prices are catching on because they're like, oh, people want organic.
Exactly.
So we want their business. So they're starting to sell organic at better prices than
good old marketing.
Yeah.
But that's the case where we actually benefit. One of the few times.
Yeah.
The third thing I was going to say is never underestimate. And I learned this on my Whole30 this time. Smoothies, man.
Oh,
they're so easy. Get you a banana, which is Whole30 compliant. You can get you some greens. I mean, however you want to freak it,
Throw some almond butter in there.
Yeah, freak it, man. I mean, you know what? You could even get, if you want some sweets, you can take your banana, a little bit of coconut milk.
Dude, I threw some dates in there.
Dude,
I threw like 5 dates in there to make it because I needed I had a sweet tooth craving, so I was like 5 dates, some almond butter, banana, blueberries, strawberries, and then just that unsweetened coconut milk.
In a smoothie?
Yeah.
Okay, word.
Bro, it was good.
But look at that though, right?
Yeah.
And this is that definitely satisfies the objective of why we're even doing this. Because like you said, dude, I had a sweet tooth. He had a sweet tooth, but in the midst of a sweet tooth, he's also getting a multitude of fiber and other nutrients from those same dates. So it's the Whole30. You're taking whole foods and you're saying you could basically, in essence, in a lot of regards, have the best of both worlds. You just have to take a little bit more effort, and educate yourself a little bit more so you're a little more aware of what you're putting into your body and recognizing, what you're doing, and satiating yourself this way, be it you want something sweet, or be it you want something savory, or even be it you just want to feel full, however it is. That's another thing too, we get caught up in feeling full, like Damon was saying, but that's the thing, figure out where you are and then figure out how this is going to work for you. I mean, self-style it. Stay within the parameters, because when you do, it's going to benefit your body. But freak it a little bit, man. Get creative.
Yeah.
I've made some of the dopest meals I've ever had when I was on Whole30. Like, I want to make this again, right? Because it's just so good. So
yeah, and maybe you got to get creative, and now's the best time to do that because you can get on Pinterest, just Google anything, type in recipes. Because I think some people think of vegetables, because growing up a kid, I don't know, I guess kids still probably eat just canned vegetables, right? But I think some people just think of canned green beans, just warmed up and then on the plate with nothing else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can do so much more,
Facts,
for me, bro, roasted vegetables, I throw them in the oven.
Oh man,
bro, I can eat the largest amount of roasted vegetables, bro. It just adds so much flavor.
Facts.
You add a little bit of garlic powder or salt on there.
Dude, fennel, and you can do here you go. You educate yourself and you find out what flavors are available and just get busy with it. You can do roasted vegetables with herbs de Provence on them, which has lavender in it. You can freak it with some oregano, some garlic. You got parsley, dill. It's all out there. You can have a complete vegan meal if you want, or vegan with a little bit of meat, or just however you want to freak it. You know what I'm saying? And you can have really good food and you feel good. And the overall net effect is your body benefits, and you even shed a little bit of pounds. You let go of a lot of water weight and stuff that you're carrying because you're not eating food with all this crap in it. It's just benefit after benefit, in all honesty. Yeah,
and just healing with the food, and just thinking about things practically with your time, and that maybe learning a few recipes,
most definitely,
so that you're eating healthier, is gonna benefit you, even though you're like, oh, I got to go online, I got to learn how to cook. You can type in easy whole food recipes.
Exactly.
It's just going to auto-populate all this stuff. Then you can look at the ones that you're like, okay, I would do that, I could do that. And then once you do it, you've got that in your utility belt. You can reuse it, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And then it's a, what do you call it? It's a snowball effect.
Yeah, most definitely.
As you keep making those improvements, you're going to start to feel better. You're going to get healthier. You're going to be in better shape.
Indeed,
and then you're not, you know what I mean? So you're conquering your objective. Because what do they say? The gym is only what percentage of health and fitness? Right? You got to have, it's all in the kitchen, bro. You got to have your food, you're eating right.
Oh my gosh. I just read a quote this week. I don't want to misquote the quote, but effectively the quote was saying this: you cannot exercise out a bad diet. Your bad diet is going to stay a bad diet. Like I said with Roger, you can put on that weight and stuff, but I'm telling you, man, that the net negative effects of bad food they're gonna catch up with you. I don't care. Bro. What are you gonna say, bro? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say one of the people that I look to the most for fitness that I've been inspired by is C.T. Fletcher. You know, old pro football player. But man, if you look at his story and like how he's real about what he was doing early on, he was eating like crazy amount of double cheeseburgers just to like get bigger, right? And he was like this power lifter, and he was huge. I mean, powerful, but he ended up having like these crazy heart attacks because of his diet, and now he's got things back. You know, he's eating on track. You know, he's had multiple issues he's had to go through. But man, the guy is like, I think he's almost 70 years old. And he's still in insane
G with
shape.
it, man. CT Fletcher's a G.
He's a G, dude.
He's like good mental too with that guy. You know what I'm saying?
He'll just snap you out of it. Like, he's a dude that I need, right? Like, I just need this sometimes. Like, all right, you're right. Let's go, you know?
Right. Nah, I hear you, man. There's nothing wrong with the tough love. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
But I'm just saying that you can't outwork in the gym, you know, right? Like, he got big and huge, but then he had to change things up too, and now he goes around and he talks about that. So it's like...
That's all chemistry, bro. You know, I mean, what is it? Like, life is like a computer, man. Garbage in, garbage out. Your diet is the exact same way. And here's another thing, too, is something you just touched upon, but it's a concept about food as medicine. But what did he just say? Healing through eating and through your food. A lot of us have a multitude of issues that we deal with, and the Whole30 is really good at kind of helping you pare down a lot of things and just kind of doing a reset and say, okay, what type of things am I reacting negatively to? What type of things are causing me to have issues? Skin issues, you know, stomach issues, constant headaches, joint pain. There's a lot of things that, you know, contribute to this because of what we're eating, you know? So, and this is another thing too I wanted to say, like, people have to understand this. My man was saying this yesterday when I was at the shop. You got to do the work. I mean, that's the bottom line. You have to do the work. I mean, look, I'm 45 years old. Yeah, I look good for 45. I look great for 45. You know, I got abs around and all that stuff. But guess what? I put in the work to stay that way. But the thing about it, though, and this is also what we're trying to get y'all to understand, it's not a chore. I don't wake up every day, oh, woe is me. I can't. No, I figured it out, you know. And now what you do is, like, what do you say?
You got systems in place.
Exactly, bro. You grow, learn, change, become better. And every day I'm trying to modify it and make and you know, just fine tune it, make it even better than it was the day before. What are you gonna say, bro?
I was just saying, you know, whether you know it or not, we all have systems in place. You know, it's just about creating the better system, and then it's just like after you do it a few times, you know what I mean? It's just dude. There's metaphors and examples all around, man. I can just say from the beginning of this podcast, man, like lining up the audio with the video, getting it edited, dude. It took me like a day and a half to do the first episode. You know what I mean?
I remember that.
And like you think, oh, it's just one. Dude, it took forever, bro.
I can believe it.
But now it's like the process, and now I've got it figured out, and it does not take that long. I'm not running into the same issues every time. And now it's just like this, right? And that's been 3 months.
Indeed.
And it's way valuable, right?
And you know what? Like
the value
anything
that
else,
you get from going through
I was going to say, right? It's producing. No pun intended, but it's producing, right? I mean, and this diet is this diet regimen, whatever you want to call it, diet, whatever.
Well,
it's the same way. This diet's the same way. It's the same exact way. You put that work in and you will get results. And here's something else I want to say. It don't matter what your particular situation may be, because all of us are different. Our body types are different. Our physiology is different. Our pathology is different. Whatever. You can do this.
And you can be the best you. You don't have to look, you know, you don't have to look the same way someone else looks, you know what I mean? But dude, you can be the best you. You can get in good shape.
As long
as
you're happy with what you have. What are you going to say? Go ahead.
Plus, dude, anybody sees results, right? Anybody shed 10 pounds and they start seeing the results, you feel good. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like,
shoot, other people will see it first too. They're like, you lost weight or you look different.
Plus you just start feeling good, man. And you realize like what Damon was saying, like not being, you know, subject to what your tongue wants, right?
Dude.
Because then you get to the point where you feel better, bro. And then you're not looking to that food to make you happy because you feel good, right? So it's like, man, I think that's what the Whole30's done for me, because it's reset all my taste buds. Like, fruit tastes amazing because like I haven't had any processed sugar, you know, no maple syrup, no honey, no brown sugar. Those are the things that I would typically have. none of that stuff. So just, man, I've just been enjoying fruit and just the natural flavors of things. Man, like I ate a carrot the other day, and like I can eat carrots, but I'm not like crazy about them. Dude, it tasted sweet to me. It tasted good. Like I was like, man, this carrot tastes good right now.
Right. I could always taste the sugar in carrots, but I mean,
you probably eat less sugar than I do.
Well, it's not just that. I like simple flavors of food. It's like me and my son. We both are great cooks, but we cook way differently. I like the taste of food as they are, and then I compliment the flavor of the food. I still want to taste that flavor. So here's something I was going to touch upon. But we were talking about earlier. I forgot about it, but this kind of touches upon the same thing. In this country, we have a tendency, Americans, from my understanding, we aren't the best eaters in the world. Like he was saying, canned green beans and all these things that are really, it's not only is it not good for you, but it's not really even the best tasting stuff. But when you kind of start to, do like a minimalist approach to food, you start to appreciate, like he said, a carrot. And I start to appreciate, how good a date and a walnut taste together, stuff like that, right? But then you use that as a means to build and unlearn a lot of what you had learned prior. Right? I mean, even like the background I come from, being of African descent in the United States, the diet that we have traditionally had over here is like really not good for us. I mean, Damien kind of touched upon that. And it's led to a multitude of negative aspects from a pathological standpoint with disease, right? But again, like you were saying, when food is medicine, you can cure and change that, So, I mean, we have to unlearn a lot of those things, and I think things like Whole30 really do help that. They help you unlearn. They help you, they help you appreciate the basic flavors of food, and then you can kind of figure out what really works for you. Because, like for me, with my cooking, it's like art.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, with my son's cooking, we both cook differently, but I love his cooking, and he loves my cooking too, I guess. But it's two different ways of doing the same thing. But that's his spin on it, and I have my spin on it. But nonetheless, I try to make sure that that the simple flavors of food is always something that I focus on. And Whole30, it just makes Whole30 easier for me though. So that's a bit of a cheat because I'm used to simple flavors in food. But however you do it, it's really up to how you want to do it. But nonetheless, yeah, it helps you unlearn a lot of things and develop better new habits and systems, like you said.
Yeah, and for anybody because I was really eating healthy like maybe like a year ago, and then I didn't go super far off track. I kind of, after using the Under Armour app for like a year and a half, I kind of just knew like my calorie ratio, and I was staying within it. But I was eating pizza more than I had been. I'd been I was eating cheeseburger, fries. I was eating regular like that kind of food, desserts, all those things, but I was having them in a proper moderation. But at the same time, I could see that I wasn't where I was that year ago. I wasn't like completely far off, but I was just kind of in this like limbo area, you know what I mean? I was kind of maintaining it. So I'm literally going from giving up like desserts on somewhat of a regular basis just recently going into this, and eating like pizza, eating Thai food, those kind of things.
Right.
Burgerville. You know what I mean? So so it was a little bit more of a drastic change for me, you know what I mean?
It's a drastic change for most people. Let's just throw that out there.
But I had done this before, so I was ready for it, and it felt good. And I have to say, though, that now that I'm in it, and I just, like, the results, right, like, we're not doing, like, before or after pictures, but I can just tell you, like, I got, like, definition, like, I pretty much feel like I burned off any, like, just excess weight that was hanging around from processed sugar, like, pretty much in the prime condition, the best condition I've been in.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? So, to me, I'm excited, because this Whole30 is like a reset. I wanted to kind of get back to where I was, like, a year and a half ago when I was really pushing it. But really, I kind of like where I'm at. So I figure if I keep eating this way, keeps doing the calisthenics I do. Like I try to do like 100 push-ups a day, in different various works. Like I'll be cooking and then I'll do dip downs on the counter. Like I try to get it in throughout the whole day.
Most definitely. See, like that, integrate fitness into your daily routine. It doesn't have to be a chore. Like I said before, I hate the gym. I abhor the gym.
I don't like the time, bro. Oh, I gotta drive there. And then you go there and you work out, and then you go home and you go. It's like 3-4 hours out of your day.
Exactly. And I'm just I'm not even. And plus, you're paying for it. No, and no. Here's another thing I was gonna touch upon. And this is another one of the many benefits of doing it. Discipline.
Yeah,
you know, discipline is something that we can always use more of in almost every regard. You know, it's because like we were talking yesterday with my man, accountability. You know, you're accountable. You know, and then again, like he said, it builds. You execute and you practice an iota of discipline, and then you're accountable, and so on and so forth. The next thing you know, good habits develop, and then your overall way of being and living just improves. Everything gets better. Your mental health gets better. Your physical health. It's a win-win-win. Win-win-win-win. You know, it's why not do it? But take the first step to get the ball rolling in that direction.
It's empowering, man. And just like you said, like, what were you saying with the computer? You know, like
garbage in, garbage out, man.
But if all you're putting in is the good, I mean, you're gonna get good results.
Most definitely, bro. Most definitely.
And I mean, I think really you just gotta pause and think about that, right? Because it's so common sense if you listen to it, man.
Dude.
And we'll just. I'm not even just talking like I'm talking to myself here too. You
know,
of
like course, you're talking to yourself first when we say we're talking to ourselves first when we say this.
Yeah, no doubt. So, but just realize, it's the part of the human condition, the things that we think about, the way our mind processes things.
Most definitely.
So,
bro. I mean, this has just been, and we're hoping we can inspire and if anyone has any questions, man, let us know in a comment. And we're glad we're glad we can share what we're doing. And we're glad y'all are checking stuff out, man. And then we can update later about what we're doing and, just how it's coming along if anyone has any questions, please get at us and let us know, man, because I don't know. I mean, we set out, like Luke said, with a mission and we had a goal and we've, achieved the goal. And we're better off, for it. I mean, you always will be when you set out to do something, positive like that. Even if you don't achieve exactly what you had in mind, you still can glean a lot of, gems and benefit and wisdom and learning from that thing. And then you just keep going.
That dude applies to everything. Like you said, the self-discipline, you can apply that self-discipline to anything in your life. You're like, man, for 30 days, I didn't eat grains, dairy, processed sugar. It doesn't have to be the Whole30, but just anything that you commit to for a certain length of time. You know what I mean? It helps you develop those new habits, makes you feel empowered, makes you take ownership over your life and realize that you do have some control. There's certain things that are always going to be outside of our control.
Yeah, recognize that, but he's right about that.
There's certain things we can control, and those are the things that we should be working on. So,
well, dude, and accomplishing things real quick to further that. Whenever you accomplish something, I don't know, like the Whole30, or whatever you're doing, making it to your workout or whatever you do, or even changing some aspects of how you eat. Whatever it is, when you accomplish something, it's addicting. It's you're like, okay, I got this done, and then one leads to 2 to 3 to 5 to 10, right? And it just again becomes a way of being, right? You go from a way where you may have been sedentary and inactive, prior to a more productive mindset, a more productive way of just doing things. And it's practical too, and it's realistic, and it's doable because you're doing it. So.
Yeah, just remembering it's work, it's like if you've been sitting like this, for a long time, it's going to feel weird to like peel yourself out of there and start moving faster. Your legs might feel like lead. You know what I mean? Like you just be like, it's too late. But it's just like baby steps, you know what I mean? And try to enjoy the process, you know what I mean?
Oh my goodness,
do your research, figure out what you want to do, get the right information, and then trust the process, and then try to enjoy it. And you kind of like this is, I can't remember where I heard it, but I feel like I've heard it in several things. And for me, it's like you figure out where you want to be or what you want to do, right? And then you figure out what you need to do it, and then you just get busy and you start doing it. You know what I mean? You're not just like thinking about the end result. You're thinking about this, ultimately that's what you want.
Yep.
But you know that you have to go through this process to get there. So you're doing the one thing, the next thing, and you can enjoy that. Take some deep breaths, realize that you're making the decision to do this to make your life better.
Dude, that was just about along the lines of what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's like this. If you decide to do this, then do it. And don't let anyone dissuade you to do anything other than that. This is for you, not for anybody else but you. So along the way of you doing this, people go say, oh, I wouldn't do that. Oh, I could never do that. Why are you doing that? I wouldn't do that. Isn't that bad for you? Don't listen to that nonsense. you know, you once you've got it in here, everything else is gonna fall into place as long as you keep going. Don't let anyone try to dissuade you from doing something. I mean, you know, because it beats the alternative of inaction. When is inaction ever good?
Yeah.
You know, especially in regards to trying to get a goal. Inaction is never gonna help you accomplish a goal.
No.
So don't listen. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'd say flip that, right? Because like I get like I was talking about what I was doing. They're like, man, that doesn't sound right. But this was somebody who hadn't really spent any time looking into this, right? And to me, I took it as like not necessarily complete like jealousy, because it's not like I got this like amazing thing or whatever that's going on, but it was like I was doing something, you know what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of people like. If you're doing something that's bigger than yourself or bigger than, you know, these things, or just doing something to change your life, and people notice that, some people might be encouraging, but a lot of people aren't trying to do that, and they're going to be jealous, or they're going to try to discourage you because of their own inhibitions.
Yeah.
Or inhibitions, is that the right word I'm trying to say?
That's part of it.
Yeah.
You know?
So you can't get too caught up. I mean, yeah, the doctor says, no, it's not healthy to do this. And yeah, that's maybe the person you want to listen to, but
I don't think a doctor's going to say you need to eat more preservative. He's not going to say that. Though.
More preservatives,
and more sugar. And I mean,
the Whole30? Oh, I don't know about those whole foods. You got to get some processed foods in
exactly. There. You need more hydrogenated oils.
Yeah.
You need more dyes in your food. You know, no. You know, you guys, come on. And that's the thing. Look, hey, check it out. Trust your doctor and listen to him, but at the same time, also trust yourself. You know,
mental resilience.
Yeah, man, you know you. You know, if the doctor's like, just take this pill, you bust a Yui out of there and get you a new doctor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Get that stuff, man. You know, one other thing I was gonna say is if anyone is, you know, looking at, you know, try the Whole30, and I hope that they are, because this is good. Understand that you want to do what you can to ease into it. You don't have to be like, you know, you had pizza, ice cream, and you know, and a block of cheese the day before the next day. You're like Whole30 today. Like, ease into it. Give yourself a week or two. You know, start. You know, okay. If you have, you know, I don't know, milk in your coffee every day, then, you know, pare down the milk, or have, you know, just skip a day. You know, or have a day where you don't even have your coffee, or just try and figure out some way to kind of carefully transition. And I want to say this. Now, I'm not saying it's a negative way. Not like a keto way. You don't want to be like, I'm not giving this up. What can I have instead? You know, you got to give a little bit, you know. I mean, you can't, and, you know, you can't have it exactly how you want, and you can't have it both ways all the time. Sometimes you can, but sometimes you can't. You can, and sometimes you can have it almost both ways. Other times it's 180, like diametric opposites. So you're gonna have to kind of allow yourself to recognize and accept these types of things, but nonetheless ease into it. You know what I'm saying? You know, even if you just want to ease into Whole30 eating, and then say, okay, after this month of, you know, or even this week or 2 weeks of Whole30 mixed in with what I do, I'm gonna start my, you know, my first day after these 2 weeks of the actual Whole30. You know, ease into it. That way you'll be less, you know, you'll be less persuaded to want to quit. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, even if for a week, you know, you eat like the Whole30 regimen, I mean, it's still good for you. You know what I'm saying?
Give like a test run.
Yeah, like just eating whole foods, even if you're not going to do the Whole30, just incorporating that kind of stuff more into your diet is good. You know.
Man, I had a dude real quick. Go
ahead.
I had a guy in the store. I was talking about the Whole30. I don't know how he got onto it. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing the Whole30 right now until the 30th. And he's like, oh my goodness. He's like, I tried those, you know, I'm just thinking like, hey, you know, I can't knock old boy, but I'm like, you know, whatever. But he was like, he goes, I'm not doing anything like that until, you know, the whole, you know, coronavirus thing is up. I was just thinking like, bro, what's that got to do with anything?
Yeah.
You know, if anything, why would you not want to better yourself during a time where people are concerned about disease? But I'm like, hey, that's just the page he's on. You know what I'm saying? And people gonna make, like you said, like we were saying, they project and make excuses, nothing against old boy. But I mean, at the end of the day, he was making an excuse. You know?
That's like New Year's resolutions.
Never liked them.
I don't like them, bro. If you're gonna do it, just do it. Like, you got the idea, do it now. Straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like do it like that.
Don't wait 6 months so you can do it for a month and give it up.
Exactly, bro. Like that Gorilla Biscuits LP is called Start Today. Do what they say. Start today. You know?
Yeah.
Don't make excuses about, well, no, well, that's that doubt, and that's just that's one of the things that's gonna potentially slow you down. It's like extra weight, man. Dead that and let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Don't forget, we're talking to ourselves throughout all
Almost
this too,
definitely.
bro. This is inspiration for ourselves too, and for you. So it's not like casting judgment out there.
Nah, bro, ain't nobody preaching.
Right?
We're just sharing with y'all, man. Like we say, connecting and building. You know
Positive,
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, why would we not want for others what we have, been able to glean, and benefit from ourselves? I mean, in all honesty, I'm not trying to talk from a high and mighty position. I got things that, I got demons and I got things that I deal with. I mean, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I try to share at least the good. I can sit up here and talk about all the things that bother me and that I get concerned about and even that worry me. But first of all, like I said, we don't whine. What's that gonna? It's not gonna, and that's not gonna help y'all. Oh, let's all whine together. Nah, I'm not doing that. We're gonna share the good things. What are you gonna say, bro?
I was just gonna say too. The thing to remember is like, a lot of us have certain different parts of our lives figured out in different aspects,
Real talk,
right?
Man.
And some of us just the health aspect or the eating thing might just be the part that you need to work on.
Man.
But bro, you've got all these other things taken care of. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So someone might. So you don't think that you don't have something going. You always got something going. Dude. You just have little areas that maybe this area needs improvement. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
I got plenty of areas that need improvement. Like I could.
Well, that's what makes us human.
Work on my grammar.
That's what makes us human.
Yeah.
That's really what makes us human. It's just like, as far as improving, it's just like, why would you not? Why would you not want to work to do better? I mean, that's the thing. You have to ask yourself that. You have to answer that question.
Like what you said, what better than the alternative, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you gotta think about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's
definitely
so clear. Yeah. No doubt.
Wow, man, this has been dope, man. And we're hoping, and I'm hoping, and I want to, what is it? I want to convey as much as I can and share so that someone can take some good from this as well.
Yeah.
And like I said, let us know in the comments, man. Like, let us know.
Yeah, because, we'll probably be doing some more, like, health and fitness stuff. But, this Whole30 was kind of like a series. So I think, we got, like, 4 or 5 videos, I think, in this series. So it's all on the playlist if you guys want to check them all out.
Most definitely.
So we'll be touching back in, but we're gonna get back into. We got some plans for some different episodes here.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're gonna, a few different ideas. We're gonna do an episode about some good news. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's gonna be the business, man. Because like we said, man, we're in Luke. We're talking about that. And it was actually from an episode that we had, Luke. Remember that when you said, about there's the good news out there. Like there's a lot of good going on. Everyone's, from my, observation, there's a lot of people who are not exactly in the best frames of mind at the moment. Mm-hmm. So we want to let y'all know about the good things that have been transpiring along the way. It's not like this bad things happen, this less than ideal thing happens, and then everything just goes. It's not like that.
Yeah, and just knowing that. Like you're saying, like 2 things can be true at the same time. Like we said in the last episode,
Indeed.
Where there's things that need to be improved, but let's enjoy some of the things that we got, because you can't just constantly stay in that one state, because then it's like this one of Alan Watts quotes that really I always remember. I might say it not completely right, but it'll get the point across. But it's like if you don't learn the art of living in the moment. Mm-hmm. You'll never appreciate where, say it's like, oh, once I get there, I'm going to be able to relax. But if you can't enjoy being in the moment,
right,
and you're never going to be able to enjoy it in the future. You know what I mean? Where you get to where you think you want to be.
It's contentment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's nothing wrong with being content. In a good way. Right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Like I'm content, having all these health problems. Like, not really, but...
but
when you...
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do.
You do what you want to do, but...
But then you got to pay the consequences. Right?
Facts, man. Facts. Good old karmic, what is it? The karmic bill, I guess. So... Yeah. Anyway, bro, I don't know. This has been dope, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, real quick, though.
Yeah.
Let them know. Just because, we're... After this, I'm going to stay on this Whole30 for the most part. I am gonna incorporate some rice again.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat some oatmeal again, but I'm gonna stay away from a lot of sweeteners.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna be putting the brown sugar in my oatmeal like I was before.
Got you.
I think I'm gonna be just doing fruit and eating it, just trying to taste it for what it is.
Yes.
I know it sounds plain and bland. We'll see how long that lasts. But
well, dude, you got dates, right?
yeah, that's honestly what I'll do is I'll probably maybe I'll blend them up so that it gets really mixed in there. That'll make it sweet, man. Dates are super sweet.
Indeed, they're great for you.
Yeah.
What other things you're gonna say as far as?
Oh yeah, so rice, oatmeal. I think I'll incorporate back in. I never really ate beans. Beans just never worked with me very well. Maybe if I soaked them and did them the right way, they'd be better. But I don't know. I just never really messed with beans too much.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna probably stay away from that anyways. But I want to go have Thai food. I love Thai food. I love sushi. I'm gonna eat all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And have pizza from time to time. I like burgers and fries, so I'll have that from time to time. But I'm really gonna have it in moderation. And then I'm gonna make sure that if I do have someone like that, I'm gonna be eating probably whole foods for the most part of the week.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have something, because man, what I realize is when I really save things like that, it is a real treat.
Of course it is.
You really enjoy it, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So if you're gonna eat something that's that delicious, you don't want it to just go down like anything, you know what I mean?
No, it's like we were saying, about the relationship with food in that one episode. It's not just like burger, but when you don't have it, then you really, like you said, you truly appreciate it. It's literally a treat.
Yeah, and you taste it for exactly what it is, because it's just not taking things for granted, I think that's what it's really helped. The Whole30's helped me just with food, not take things for granted,
Most definitely, man.
Yeah.
I think for me, the Whole30 helps me and encourages me to eat more vegetables. I don't not eat vegetables, but I have a habit of when I'm really hungry, I just eat, instead of thinking about what I'm doing. So I'm gonna try and get in the habit of eating vegetables first, And I like the vegetable, a lot of the creations I make with vegetables. So, I can just always make sure I appreciate that first. That way I'm not weighed down with, the meats or the rice. Because, I'm going to be bringing a lot of stuff back into my diet as well. I usually do. But at the same time, it's I want to try and incorporate, Whole30 meals into either my day or a few a week. Or even just, trying to think okay, well, at this juncture, do I want to go Whole30, when I'm picking a certain meal or snack preference. So just stuff like that,
Yeah, and then one more thing I'd say, just as inspiration, if you've been thinking about doing the Whole30, is that you are going to see results if you're sticking with it. And if you figure out an exercise routine that's safe and works for you, I just do calisthenics, you know what I mean? I walk and I do calisthenics, and that works really well for me. You're going to see results, and I think by the end of the 30 days, you're going to be potentially addicted to the results, and you're going to want to keep doing it because you like what you've seen, you like the way you feel. So it won't feel like a chore. You'll realize that, I'm doing this, but I get this back. So it's a good return on investment.
Yeah, and have fun. Just have fun. So
yeah, no doubt.
It's been dope, man.
All right, so we'll see you back next episode. Thanks for tuning in.
Most definitely. Peace, y'all.
Let good versus evil, some manners are bad. Flip the relics of the past, our whole transmission is led. Ain't got a check injection, those who want we believe it. This life for